My name is Rowena Harker Leder. Young people seem to make exercising look very interesting, and they do seem to enjoy it. I am now 80 and I find doing any exercise fairly loathsome and very exhausting. So the little bit of exercise I do, I try to do it in the most efficient way possible and as comfortably as possible. So this means doing exercises as soon as I wake up in the morning. As soon as I open my eyes, I do my exercises in bed, to start off with underneath the duvet. And so, you would imagine that I'm going to wake up in the morning, and the first thing I do always is move the hips up and down, up and down like that. And then move your toes and feet round and round in circles, up and down, stretching all the leg muscles all the time. This is very important to do that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is to aim for the knee roll. This knee roll. This is when the aim here is ultimately to have your knees under your chin, but this will be rather tricky to do. And so we do the roll like that, as much as you can, just backwards and forwards. I was 5 feet 10 and a half when I was 14 years old, and all my life lived with a great fear of having a back problem. And so far, touch wood, I haven't had a back problem. And I did read about doing the knee roll. Cliff Richards does it, evidently. He's been doing it for 20 odd years, and he hasn't got a back problem either. So if it's good enough for Cliff, it's good enough for me. And so now the next thing is to fling your legs to the wind. Fling your legs like that, as much as you can, as far apart as possible, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and like this as well. And now I have been told that we shouldn't ever wear knickers at night, because one must let one's flue have the air for a few hours a day. And so there we are. So just a little of that. And now, what I do is up. Now, this is very important for the back stretch again, and for your legs. And so you sit up, having thrown the duvet off, of course, by now, and you go forward as far as you can with your hands. To start with, you probably only go to about there, but honestly, if on Monday you can just get to there, by Friday you'll have gone an inch or two further, and probably within a month you'll be able to get all the way down and touch your toes like this. And also do a little bit of reflexology whilst you're down here. That's what I like to do, like that. It's really nice. Massage the toes, awfully good. And so now, the next thing, of course, is just to sit on the edge of the bed, like this, or on the side. And sit very straight and upright. It's essential to have the shoulders straight and the head up and shoulders down. And this is awfully good. This is awfully good. Breathe in as you go up with the hands, and down as you come out. This is very good. And then the next thing is the neck roll. Rolling the neck. We must keep our necks very subtle at all times, of course. Rolling, of course. And then look to the right and look to the left, and move your eyeballs around the whole time as well. This is very good. It's essential. And it's a good thing as well to pull terrible faces when you're exercising, because this makes your facial muscles work. And someone said it's very good to stick your tongue out the whole time, particularly if you sing, because it's good to have a strong tongue when you're singing. And so now, what is now? I think really we've pretty well finished our exercises. I think we have. And so now, we at our age were born in the very best of times. When Macmillan said in the 60s, "You've never had it so good," I think this was true. We really have lived through a most amazing age of peace and calmness in the world, at least certainly in this country. And so we do owe it to ourselves now to stay as healthy as we possibly can. And also we owe it to our children not to be a burden to our children. And we also owe it to the National Health Service not to overload them. We must never give in and say to ourselves, oh, we're so old now, everybody else has to look after us. We should try and keep fit and well and healthy. It is so very important in life. And now, I am from Yorkshire, and so I'm rather blunt and straightforward. And if anyone is of a delicate disposition, perhaps they should switch off now, really, because I'm going to tell you something that I find I like very much. I was in hospital recently for yet another colonoscopy, when suddenly my lovely consultant was beavering away with his tube and a camera on the end, and I was watching it, of course, on television. And suddenly, out of the blue, he turned to me and he said, "Of course, you do know how to poo." And I was quite stunned. And he said, "You do keep your knees together, clutch your buttocks and push. Think of a tube of toothpaste." This is the most wonderful piece of advice I've ever been given. And during those very hard times in life, it does really, really, really work. So do try that and tell your children and your grandchildren. It's very, very important. I am a public speaker and go all over the country talking. So if you would like to have any more information about this, I could easily come and talk to you. I'd love to do that. Thank you.